Final example. Judas, his betrayer, seeing that he had been condemned, was remorseful. Remorseful. It says remorseful is deep regret or guilt for a wrong committed, or knowing distress arising from a sense of guilt, self-reproach. It comes from the Latin words to, it is again, R-E, which means again, and mordere, which means to bite. That's what remorseful, 2 words, again and to bite. Let's make sense of it. So it means that your conscience is working on you concerning actions, biting or fighting you back for stuff that you did that it didn't approve of. Oh my God. Making you feel shameful or regretful. It's built in. Now, we can argue that Judas was out of the will of God, but he still could hear conscious speaking because God designed us that way. So there is no excuse. Man can't make an excuse now because he is made a certain way. He was remorseful. He brought back. The Spirit didn't tell him. God didn't tell him. But look at his actions. He brought back the 30 pieces of silver to the chief priests and elders, saying that we must be going. Get my clicker to work. There we go. I have seen by betraying innocent blood. And they said, what is this to us? You handled all of that. You did it. And he threw down the pieces of silver in the temple. He went out and he hanged himself. Now, I don't advocate that, whatever, but he did it not because God condemned him. Conscience condemned him. And he couldn't make peace with himself, so he ended his life. That's going on. We have the highest suicide rate now as any other country, even among young people, because they are not being taught that you can get past a lot of stuff, because we're not teaching this. We got an example of what happens when you don't deal with conscience. I'm going to teach you it's not over. So God said that no situation is so bad that you got to terminate life. But we got to start teaching because something is going wrong. When our kids don't want to live. They got all life before them, and yet they can't see tomorrow. Something is wrong. And what's happening is they're dealing with a conscience, not feeling that I can get past this. But we got to teach them how to deal with conscience. Is there for a reason. It condemns me, it points out things, but it's not there to destroy you. It's there to help you to get in the right path so you can go on and fulfill what life's purpose and destiny is. He terminated not because God told him or anything, but he couldn't get past his mistake, his error. And there are a lot of people there, grown, and especially our youth. Why is a child and a teenager feeling like they can't get past of certain little things in life? Money feeling. But the battle is within. And we're not teaching and dealing with it. That's why I'm dealing with it. We're gonna fix some of this stuff.
Yes, Lord. Amen.
We can't help our children because we wrestling with the same thing. I ain't never seen so many grown folk that like I ain't got nothing to live for. Something. What's wrong with you? Baby, I don't care how bad life is. I ain't thinking about dying. I ain't entertaining. I don't care how bad it is.
Yes, Lord.
I got hope. I got faith. I believe. I believe. I'm a believer. I don't care. You cry. Yeah, all of us cry. It's natural. I ain't one of those people that don't cry. Everybody cry about stuff. It ain't always tears of joy. It's just life. Situations will deal you stuff that you just wasn't prepared for, don't know how to handle. So crying is the body's way of relieving stress. It helps me to get through. But at some point, weeping may endure for a night. But my life don't end with the night, because joy gonna come in the morning. That means to tell me that if you can get through the night, at some point day's gonna break. There's gonna be day break. And you're gonna get past whatever you're going through. So go and wrestle through it, cry through it, whatever through it, but get through it. It's not over. Don't throw in the towel. Don't give up on life. Especially because of what people done done.
Thank you, Daddy.
Thank you, Lord.
Let's close here. So Romans 2 says, when the Gentiles who do not have the law, by nature do the things in the law. By nature, that's a natural something inside. Although not having the law, are a law to themselves, who show the work of the law, written in their hearts, their conscience also bearing witness. What did the leper say? What we doing is not right. What did David say? The Lord forbid that I should. This is not right. By nature, do the things in the law. Conscience also bearing witness, and between themselves, their thoughts accusing and or else excusing them. Let me move on. I got to close. So Matthew Poole on that scripture says this. What that means is that in all people, look at this, there's a supernatural. Jeremiah, you talked about this when God said in Jeremiah, I think 31, I'm going to write my law in their heart, and every man shall know for himself. Innate something inside.
That's right.
That's what they was talking about here. And Paul picked up on that same thing, and this is how Poole translates this. He said, there is in all people a supernatural inscription or writing in the heart, given by God's grace, and is common and natural to all. I don't care whether you say the laws, know God or not, all of us have it. It's common and natural to all people. He calls it a supernatural inscription in the heart. It's part of God's grace given to humanity. This is not dealing with salvation. It has to do with consciousness. All people have it. I don't know who said this, it didn't give a name, but it says this. That's what Jews came against too. To disobey conscience then is to be at war with one's deepest self.
Wow.
Judah was at war with his deepest self and he couldn't get past. Therein lies a problem. There's a conflict within many of us and our children because we are opposed against conscience. We're at war with the deepest part of ourselves. And if we can fix that, we can calm the storm in life. And the peace of God will begin to rule in your heart. If you can just deal with that way. The Apostle Paul called this conscience the inner witness. Now, I got definitions and a lot of things you can call it, but I won't go there today. Let's get ready to start moving to a close. So what is Paul's solution to a clear conscience based on what we said out of that statement? I'm going to give you three things right quick. The first thing he brings up is conduct and behavior. He said at that point, as we reflect over our lives, we've given ourselves the sentence of death. But if we realize something, that we have nothing to be shameful about, because we have conducted ourselves in a godly, sincere way. We have been true to our mission and the people. What we did, we believed with all of our heart. We didn't say one thing, do another. He brings up conduct and behavior. That's number one. Because a lot of times, what does it say? Our conscience and our actions are at war. We do a lot of things, not you, but this we's a common, to go along, to get along.
Wow.
But inside, you don't want to be there.
Yes, Lord.
Your conscience is saying, get away from this. This is a bad situation. I don't want to be. It's going to be trouble. A lot of people are in prison because they didn't listen to conscience.
Okay.
They didn't commit the action. They were just there. But conscience said, don't go today.
That's right.
But out of peer pressure, they went. And now they get charged. Their lives snatched because they were in the wrong place, at the wrong time, with the wrong people.
Yes.
But they came from a good home. It wasn't even in them to commit such a thing. They just were with people who were taught to not regard conscience. But conscience told you not to go.
That's right.
So Paul deals with conduct. Don't let people pressure you to do stuff that your heart is telling you, I don't want to be a part of this.